These are my other girls on stands. Yes, not just the big girls that we fly, but these beauties here on stands. In my office, usually, so no matter what I'm doing when I'm working at home, for example, I can look around and see a helicopter. Yes, we love things on stands. Now, I love Mrs. Heli Heads, so I asked her if she'd sit on a stand for me, and she said that if I made her do it, she'd leave me. Welcome you legends and heli heads, you choppers and stick bangers, you twizzle whizzle thumbs, amazing people, you scale helicopter pilots, swipey wipies and everyone else, and of course you beautiful subscribers. Welcome to this video, a little bit different to the other ones that I've done before. And at the beginning there I mentioned about these beautiful helicopters that I have here on stands. We do love a helicopter on a stand, don't we? Let's take a closer look. Okay legends, here we are with my beautiful girls on stands. Now let's have a quick introduction with each one. Front and centre there we can see the UH60 Apache. Immediately to the far left there we can see the Augusta Westland 101, otherwise known as a Merlin. A lot of you have been in the back of these. My God, they shift. And then next to that is the UH60, the Blackhawk. The Hospital Helicopter 60, hence HH, usually used for casualty evacuation and combat search and rescue missions. At the back there we've got a UH60 Blackhawk, Utility Helicopter 60 Blackhawk. It's called 60 by the way because of the S70 platform by Sikorsky, but otherwise the 60 is just the nomenclature used by the American forces. But a Blackhawk at the back there. Moving around there, we've got the AS532 Super Puma, French. A lot of you have been in Pumas, but not a Super Puma. They uprated the engines and so on because the other Pumas had a tendency to fall out the sky. I've been in plenty of Pumas in my time as well. Thankfully, none of them fell out the sky. But I do have a couple of mates who were in a Puma that did fall out of the sky. There's a thing. And then, of course, the last one, the beautiful Lynx. Still, I believe, holder of the world record for the fastest helicopter in the world, otherwise known as the AH7. It's now not in service of the British forces, but the Royal Navy version, otherwise known as the Wildcat, is still in service. Now then, beautiful helicopters, I'm sure you'll agree, but there is an imposter here. Which one? Because one of these beauties flies. Let's find out some more. There it is, the UH60 Blackhawk. This beauty not only looks absolutely fantastic on a stand, it also flies. And this one by Razordon. Razordon recently reached out to me and said to me, Tiger, we're a subscriber of your channel and we watch your channel and we like your channel. You also speak to beginners about beginners stuff in helicopters. Would you like to take a look at our Blackhawk helicopter and tell people what you think of it? Now, I wrote back to them and I said, I'll very happily take a look at your Blackhawk helicopter. But I'm also one who tells the truth. So it's crap, I'm going to tell everyone it's crap. But if it's great, good for you. I'll tell them that too. Okay, legends, I'm going to strip this down now and put it back in the box. And we're going to open it. And we're going to see what we get in the box for our money. And in this video, we're also going to take it for a flight. I'm all for spreading the word when it comes to helicopters. But I'm not about to tell you something's great when it's not. This is not a paid review or anything like that. They did send me this. But at the end of the day, if it's rubbish, I'm just going to fly it into a wall. You'll be perhaps pleased to know, legends, that for this next section, you're not going to have to look at this beautiful boat race of mine whilst we take a look at the contents of the box. Yes, aren't you unlucky? But what you are going to do is see these as I model some of the stuff, and this, a pointy stick with a little white bit on the end so you know what I'm pointing at. Simple as that. Right, let's crack on. Gravity is now pulling my face to the floor. First up, legends, the box. It's a good box. It's a sturdy box. It comes inside another box. You're not going to get anything damaged inside this box. It's a good box. Let's take a look inside. Inside, we can see a helicopter landing pad. Then we've got an instruction manual. Let's see what we've got. Oh, out that comes. And inside here, of course, is our UH60 Blackhawk helicopter. And it really is Honestly, it really is a beautiful looking thing. This is die cast detail sort of on here. It's not die cast, obviously it's plastic, but the wheels here go round. The tail rotor there is on a small motor. The rotor diameter is about 26 centimetres and each blade is about 115 millimetres or 11.5 centimetres. And the battery fits inside, and we'll look at that afterwards. But look, it's a nice helicopter, and it's light as a feather as well, which of course you would expect. The windows are all darkened, so you can't see any of the electronic components inside, and nor do you need to at the end of the day. This is a nice looking helicopter. So there's our UH60. So let's pop that there. We've got a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, which can swap from mode 2 to mode 1. It comes in as mode 2. Points to note straight away is that our collective, if you like, is centered and it is spring loaded to the center. On top of the controller, and we'll take a closer look at this later on, are 4 other buttons. 2 of those have a function. Then of course we've got the wonderful little stand, and we pop that out there. And then inside here we've got the battery. Now this only comes with one battery. This battery here is a 3.8 volt single cell 800 milliamp battery. And it will give you about 8 minutes worth of flight time, which is more than enough. Of course, we've got to charge that battery, so Razordon have thought of everything. Now, that's the box empty now. Look, what do we do with this? What do we do with the box now, legends at Heli Shed? You know what we do, don't we? We don't need that anymore, do we? Now, what have we got in this bag? Let's take a look. Now, inside here, we've got 4 spare blades here. Let me just pop these out. They're non-painted, so they're not painted. On the actual helicopter, they are painted, as you can see, but these aren't painted. But you've got 4 spare ones here, all labelled up B. They're all labelled up B. These are actually labelled up A. I'm not going to say these are balanced. I don't think they are. They're only plastic. If you've got to change one of these, it probably really won't make any difference if you just change one at a time. You've also got a charger, very simple USB charger. You plug it in and it's red. You connect it to the battery and it will stay red. And when the battery is charged, it goes green. Simple. Even I can understand that. Then we've got a little screwdriver that they've provided, a Phillips screwdriver. We've got a tail rotor here. The tail rotor on the Blackhawk here is driven by a motor. So the yaw is affected by the speed at which is put into the rear motor there. And then we've got a main gear here and a little Allen key there. Fair play to Razordon, because they've given you what is likely that you would need to repair it, being the blades and a main gear. So that tells you something straight away, which is this has been designed from the ground up to put up with significant impacts. And when we fly this later, we're going to test that out because we are going to crash it. Now let's focus on this beautiful helicopter a little while. First of all, putting the battery in is really simple. We just take the nose cone off like this and the battery slides inside very neatly like so. We then connect it up and then we simply, and I'll take it out for now, we then simply push the nose back on like this, slides into place and then clicks on the front and it's nice and secure. A couple of things of note of the helicopter, and that's it's got a couple of LEDs here and they come on when you fly it. And yeah, there's nothing really more to say about this other than for you to see it fly. It's just a really nice looking helicopter, and I think you'll agree that. And the fact that it goes on a stand. Oh, we love a good stand. The controller is powered by 6 AAA batteries. Don't do what I've done there, legends. Honestly, I've done this to show you not to do it. Do not do this, legends. And that is mix batteries. You should never mix batteries in the back of a transmitter. So don't do it, okay? I've done that to show you not to do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. It is 2.4 gigahertz, and as I said, your collective is spring-loaded there. And up on the top here, we've got 4 buttons. Only 2 of these are active. The first one over here and the second one over here. This one on the left-hand side, if we press that, gives us 3 specific speed settings of the actual motor. Well, no. It gives us 3 pitch settings of the actual swash plate, and we'll cover that in a minute. And this button here, interestingly enough, the helicopter will take off automatically, and it will also land automatically, which is a nice touch. The helicopter is not GPS, nor does it have any form of optical flow inside for altitude or LiDAR or LiDAR or radar or anything else. But it is clever enough to know when you want it to stop by virtue of holding the stick all the way down. Now, there are 3 things that you have to do with the transmitter before you can fly this. Right, let's put our battery in. Let's turn our transmitter on. Our transmitter's on. We're going to chuck our battery in now. I haven't got my glasses on. There we go, flashing lights. All the time the lights are flashing, that is basically telling you, look, I'm now looking for the transmitter, Mr. Heli Shed. Where is the transmitter, please? Please tell me where it is, Mr. Heli Shed. Well, all we have to do is we put our helicopter down like that. And with our transmitter, we simply go up and down. There we go. It's now bound to this transmitter. The next thing we do is we have to tell the gyroscope that that is level playing. In other words, I've put that on a level surface and I'm content it's level. So I'm going to tell the gyroscope now that it is level. And we just push the sticks all the way down to the right hand side. We wait until the flashing stops, let go, and that now tells the gyroscope, right, I know what level is. And then all we have to do then is, typically like with a drone for example, is push our sticks to the outer left on the left hand side and right on the right hand side, and the rotors will start. That's a fair old bit of power in that little thing, is it not? And the nice thing is the safety feature, which is if you don't engage with this helicopter once you've started it, after a certain period of time, it will just wind itself down, as it's done there. It's also got a very nice safety feature when you're flying around, and that is if you press both of these buttons together, the takeoff one and the different speed one, press them both together, and it'll also then fall out of the sky. Remember, Razordon have built this very robustly, so it's unlikely to get damaged. The key thing is it won't fly away and you won't lose it. Ha ha! Final thing, legends, before we take this for a fly and have some fun with it, and that is that this is a fixed pitch model. That's right. So although we've got 3 separate speeds, this helicopter isn't going to fall out of the sky this way. It is only going to increase the pitch and therefore the speed of the helicopter. The head speed will stay the same, as you just heard it. That will not get any quicker. But by touching or tapping on the 3 speed there, that tells us we're in the second. That's the 3rd level of speed. That's the 1st level of speed. That will just give us a different pitch on the, there we go. You can see that. Well, you might be able to see that. Let's do it on 2. A little bit more, and then on 3. And you can see it's moving significantly more now. And one other very, very important issue to do with this helicopter, and I'm going to do this so that you can see my face. This helicopter with a battery weighs 98 grams. That's correct, 98 grams. This means that under the current Article 16 CAA regulation in the United Kingdom, you do not need a flyer ID to be able to fly this, nor as a parent with a child do you need to have an operator ID and make them sit the test and get a flyer ID to fly it. This is less than 250 grams. This is 98 grams, so you don't need it. And with the new sort of amendment to Article 16, if you want to fly something that's less than 150 grams with a camera, you need a flyer ID. This does not have a camera. So, with all that said and done, you can fly this, providing you're not being silly, anywhere you like. There is perfectly legal to fly this in the UK, in the park, or providing there's no local bylaws or anyone who's going to ruin fun, which, let's face it, it's 2025, so there's probably someone out there who's going to whinge at you, but you have not got to have a license or do any tests to fly this, and that is very important. No flyer ID to fly this. It is recommended that you're age 14 and up to fly this, and I would agree with that because, well, you heard the speed and the ferocity of this motor inside there. And look, if you flew this into someone's face, you are going to hurt them. So, yeah, I agree. 14 and up is the right age. But look, if you're 10 and you want one of these, then am I going to say you could fly? Absolutely, you could fly it. But you know what? Get your parent to watch you or supervise you. And at least then that gives you that little bit of an umbrella that you've got an adult about. But yeah, it does recommend 14 and up, and I agree with that. Right, in summary then, great little helicopter so far. A 3.8 volt, 800 milliamp battery that will last for about 8 minutes. You got green light on the top here, red light at the back there, motor for the tail, fairly powerful motor for the 4 main blades. You get spare blades, you get a charger, battery mounts in the front really easily, just by the nose cone coming on and off. The transmitter is really simple to use. And look, there it is. We're going to take this for a flight now and see how we get on. Welcome, legends. Here we are at the field. As I said, we're now going to take this for a flight. Okay, here we go. Up she goes. Wow. All right. Okay, so the first thing I can tell you is that she is quite stable. It's quite impressive, and I am holding the sticks now as if I am flying in attitude control, to be honest. Let's try and hold it around here. All right, that's better. Okay, now, if my mate who's behind the camera, if he could just come over to me so we can see the sticks. Come over to me so he can film where I've got the sticks now. And I'm actually holding this helicopter where I want it to be in the sky. So unlike a normal helicopter, and I'm going to let go now, where we tap or we push, on this you pretty much need to find out where you want it and then control it via your movement on the sticks. It does have trim control. Let's try that now. So I'm going to let go. Where is it going now? It's going forward, so I'm going to come back. There we see that trimming a bit. Let's bring that over here so you can see it side on. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this is a good little machine. Wonderful. Yeah, like I said in the video before, you've got to be careful. You know, that motor is chucking them blades around a fair old amount, and if you did hit someone in the face with this, it would hurt. We're in the fastest level at the minute. Let's try the slowest, which is less pitch. Oh no, we're in the fastest now. We're in 3. So this is 3. Let's fly it about. Let's fly it about. Let's bring it down a little bit. Come on, down we come, down we come, down we come, down we come. Let's fly it around. Yeah, wow, it picks up some speed. There's no doubt about that. Look at that. Yeah. Little scream there from it. Let's bring it back here. Yeah, I like it. Now let's test its robustness. We've got emergency get out of jail free. Let's say the wind is picking up. I'm going to bring it back a bit so that my mate can get it behind the camera. I'll frigate bird. Let's say the wind is getting up and we've lost control of it. Right, let's emergency bail out. Both buttons. Okay, let's go and see what we got there. Now, granted, we're on grass here, etc. But as I said, you know, this is actually a very light little machine. So it's pretty robust. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's not broken anywhere. The gear's all right, the blade's all right still. yeah, you know, it's there's nothing wrong with that at all. They really have done a good job in making sure this is robust. Right, cool. Listen, to wrap up, what am I going to say to wrap up? I think this video has gone on long enough. What I'm going to say is this. I like this. This is a good machine. And for a really good price, you can get yourself a helicopter that flies and looks good on a stand. And what's more, if you are 10 or if you're 50 and you want to get into this hobby, like a lot of people that I've spoken to over the past year do, then do yourself a favour. Get something like this and practice actually being in control of something in the air, understanding orientations, the fact that your sticks are going to be back to front when it's flying towards you and so on, and controlling it and being able to put it wherever you need to put it. Let's see whether we can land it, legends. We've got to land it. We've got to land it. Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding, legends. Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. Bog damn it. Not bad. It's a great little helicopter. Go get yourself one. I'm going to donate this to my mate here, Sparrowhawk. On behalf of Razordon and Heli Shed, I'd like you to take this for your nephew and enjoy flying it.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Links in the description below. Thanks very much, legends. Join me on the next video. Remember, it's all about the journey, so enjoy it. Take care. Bye-bye.